we've had the worldwide factor, US debt being downgraded. The European countries are having problems with their debt repayments, and I think one country has coughed, the others are catching the cold. Really, we've also had the impending general elections, because the top-down effect has a major effect on the specific sector, and then we flow down to the company. So basically, I think those are some of the factors that have affected the NSE.
Inflation figures are on upward momentum, and the latest figures for the month of August are 16.67%. What does this mean for the bond market?
I'm seeing there's going to be a bit of activity, but then again, the interest rates have been rising. We expect, in my opinion, I expect that to taper off at some point and basically start declining. However, the interest rates, the inflation rates that have just been released have really surprised even me. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that much. I expected us to start tapering down. But if you look at it on the central bank rate, on the cash reserve ratio, basically, if you put up all those factors, I expect a bond market that is going to be lukewarm.
Mm-hmm. And this is coming at a time when the British American IPO was undersubscribed by 40%, and in fact its shares list on the market on Friday. And we also expect Family Bank to list also in October. How has this altered the mood in the market?
Really, for the British American, I believe it was a company-specific factor and not generally the market sentiment. Yeah. Because we've got a lot of players saying they should have done it, and I mean the listing should have been done in a better way. Because again, to put my point across better, we look at Bank of Kigali that was being done at around the same time and received a much higher subscription rate than British American. So in my view, it does not really reflect so much investor sentiment. I'll put it down to company-specific factors.
Moving on, Crispus, some fund managers have expressed optimism for the second half of the year. Do you share similar views?
Oh yes, I'm always optimistic about the market. We've got NSSF coming with around 60 billion Kenya shillings. That really should lift the market, and it should bring us to where we are. And again, per every quarter, I've always seen a rally at some point. I would not call it a bull run because that's overstating it, but I'd call it a rally. Yeah. So going forward, I expect some margins. Yeah, I expect the market to pick up somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the NSE CEO has already indicated plans to form a segment for the small and medium-sized enterprises in 2012. And he says this will tap into new sources of capital. How are investors reacting to this move?
Investors are already whetting their appetite for that. They really can't wait for it to come, because again, for the SMEs, it gives them a platform to raise capital. Yeah, for the investors, it also gives them a diversification platform. I'm sure, there are a lot of investors who would like to enter into the SMEs, have an exposure to them, apart from the listed companies. Yeah, so the investors are really waiting in terms of diversification and returns. In my opinion, I believe SMEs have much better, much higher rates of return than the already listed companies, which most of them are at the maturity stage.